Hi guys, it's Megan. I'm coming to you from the Disney chair tonight. Something different, something fun. We'll see. I wanted to invite you to Wednesday night devotionals, so we'll go ahead and get started. The Lord be with you. Tonight we're going to talk a little bit about doubt, about the anxiety, about the challenges that we are now facing, again, still more so. I have a couple readings for you and some thoughts and some prayers. So we'll go ahead and begin with Psalm 130. Again, this is Psalm 130. It's a suggested psalm this week in some of our readings, and it's also a suggested psalm in a worship service that I was looking at earlier. So I thought, must be what I need to be reading. So, Psalm 130. Out of the depths I cry to you, O Lord. Lord, hear my voice. Let your ears be attentive to the voice of my supplications. If you, O Lord, should make iniquities, Lord, who could stand? But there is forgiveness with you, so that you may be revered. I wait for the Lord. My soul waits, and in his word I hope. My soul waits for the Lord more than those who watch for the morning, more than those who watch for the morning. O Israel, hope in the Lord. For with the Lord there is steadfast love, and with him is great power to redeem. It is he who will redeem Israel from all its iniquities. Here ends our reading. I want to share with you an entry in one of my favorite books. This is it's called Wishful Thinking, A Seeker's ABCs. It's by Frederick Buechner. If you have not read any of his writings, I encourage you to find something. Other than Brennan Manning, I think he's probably my favorite. He has a lot of really amazing things to say. I enjoy his humor. I enjoy his candor. This evening, I want to read to you his selection on doubt. Doubt. Whether your faith is that there is a God or that there is not a God, if you don't have any doubts, you are either kidding yourself or asleep. Doubts are the ants in the pants of faith. They keep it awake and moving. There are two principal kinds of doubts, one of the head and the other of the stomach. In my head, there is almost nothing I can't doubt when the fit is upon me. The divinity of Christ, the efficacy of the sacraments, the significance of the church, the existence of God. But even when I am at my most skeptical, I go on with my life as though nothing untoward has happened. I have never experienced stomach doubt, but I think Jesus did. When he cried out, my God, why hast thou forsaken me?" I don't think he was raising a theological issue any more than he was quoting the 22nd Psalm. I think he had looked into the abyss itself and found there a darkness that spirituality viscerally, totally engulfed him. I think God allows that kind of darkness to happen only to his saints. The rest of us aren't up to doubting that way, or maybe believing that way either. When our faith is strongest, we believe with our hearts as well as with our heads. But only at a few rare moments, I think, do we feel in our stomachs that it must be like what it must be like to be engulfed by light. Again, that was Doubt from Frederick Buechner's Wishful Thinking, A Seeker's ABCs. If you haven't seen this before, I would highly recommend looking at it. It's funny, poignant, thoughtful, probably not too theologically in depth, but an enjoyable read nonetheless. So I would recommend it to you. Doubt. Have you experienced any of that lately? I know I have. How are you doing? Really, how are you doing? I wrote a few thoughts and I wanted to share them with you. Are you bored? Have you done any projects? I have. I've done a few. We've hung some pictures. We've painted. It's been good. Are you lonely? Are you angry? Maybe a little bit of all of the above? If I'm honest, I've seen all of those in the mirror this past week. I'm on week 3 at home, and it's starting to get to me. Doubt and fear and anxiety creep in, and I get stuck. I am stuck. I'm stuck in a hole of wondering why I even bother. I get angry at myself for not being patient with myself or my family. I get easily frustrated. I don't like that I can't be patient. I don't like that somebody doesn't listen to me. I don't like that I'm stuck. I don't like that I'm stuck in my house. I get that we're not necessarily stuck in the house. We're safe at home. But gosh, sometimes this house can feel so tiny. And those of you who know our house, it's not tiny at all. So I get stuck. It's frustrating. I get easily frustrated and then sometimes just plain ambivalent. It's tough. None of us expected any of this, and I find myself just wanting to rail at God and ask why. I know it will get better, and we will all get through this. We'll make it one day at a time, trusting God to bring good from this chaos. But it's still chaos. Do I believe that God caused all of this? No, I don't. Do I believe that God is punishing us? No, I don't. Am I starting to wonder at some of the prophecies of Revelation? Maybe a little bit. I'm wondering. I don't know. I don't have the answers at all. But I wonder, and I doubt, and I get frustrated, and I don't understand. I do believe, though, that when we give it all over and trust God to bring what we need, and we bring God into it, God can make a way through it, and God can make good out of it. That might be hard, but if you take a small step, one at a time, I know it'll get easier. At least I hope it will. I'm trying to walk that walk too. So please know that you're not alone. And it's not just you. We're all in this together. We'll make it. And I know we'll get through it. Let's be patient. And it's okay to doubt. But let's make sure that we ask God and tell God our doubts. Because when we do that, then God can listen. And we can trust that God can listen. And on the heels of doubt, I'd like to share a poem, and it's also a prayer. This is from one of those books that I bought in seminary that I thought, oh, this is a great resource, and I've used it so many times, but in totally different circumstances. This is Guerrillas of Grace by Ted Loder. He has a couple books out. I would recommend them. They can be very cathartic. They can be very enjoyable, and they can make you question. So this is called Give Me Hope. It's a prayer that he wrote. I don't have a backstory on it, but I want to share it with you. It's called Give Me Hope. Oh God, this is a hard time. A season of confusion, a frantic rush to fill my closets, my schedule, and my mind, only to find myself empty. Give me hope, Lord, and remind me of your steady power and gracious purposes, that I may live fully. Renew my faith that the earth is not destined for dust and darkness, but for frolicking life and deep joy, that Being set free from my anxiety for the future, I may take the risks of love today. Again, it's by Ted Loder. It's called Give Me Hope. And then we will close with a prayer and a blessing. I would like to ask you to pray for all of our healthcare workers, all of those people who are having to be away from their family, who are quarantined away from their family, who don't have a way of being with them, who don't have a way of sharing, who feel isolated. And then selfishly, I'd like to ask you to pray for the parents who are trying to figure out now how to homeschool and help their kids virtually learn with lessons online on the computer, not knowing how to do a subject, not knowing what to do, not knowing how to help. Those of you who know our family know that Taylor and I are very similar. Boy, teaching her math was tough. So I would ask your patience and your prayers for those parents who really don't have the ability to do that and who are scared and who don't know how to help and don't have resources to help. So I would offer those prayers and I would ask you to join me in them. And now I offer a blessing. This is from Turn My Heart by Susan Briehl and Marty Haugen. Marty Haugen is the one who wrote Hold an Evening Prayer, and this is part of some of his writings. So I offer this blessing to you. May the Holy Trinity, Holy One, increase our hope, strengthen our faith, deepen our love, and grant us peace. Blessings on your Wednesday night, blessings in your prayers, and blessings in your doubts. Thank you.